Good morning, crafters, and welcome to the technique of the week. This week we're going to be featuring spotlight in different ways. I'm going to be using a punch. You could also use a die, any shape. I prefer circles, but we're going to show you four different, we'll see, at least four different techniques. I'm just cutting some panels that are 4 1/4 by 5 1/4, 5 1/2. Sorry, this is your normal panel to cover a base card. And to do this, you can either use typing paper that has, I've let some glue, I don't know if you can see that. I've let some glue get tacky so it'll kind of stick down. Or you can use masking paper. If you're using masking paper, do remember that you need to put it on your skin a little bit to remove some of the tackiness. Alright, let's start with masking paper. And I'm going to just punch a hole. I'm going to keep this because we're going to use that for another part of the technique. And then over here on my 6x6 that just has the tackiness, we're going to also punch a hole. So no matter which way I use, I have something to use on my panel. All right, so the first technique that we're going to show you. Now, I'm going to peel off this backing, and like I said, it's going to be pretty strong. So I like putting it either on my clothes or on my hands, my arms, just to get that initial tackiness done. And I'm going to place this where I would like it. This is also going to help hold down your cardstock underneath. All right. Then let's grab out our blending brushes. I'm going to do yellow, orange, and red. And where did I put my stamp pads? I pulled them out, and just like me, I set them down somewhere. Okay, they were still over by my stamps cases over there. All right, I'm going to see how much I have actually on this before I put anything else on. So you can see there is some yellow left on that. Not much orange. Let me go on the side to see if there's any there. So I am going to have to get some orange. Let's see what we have left on my red brush. We have a little bit left on the red, but we're going to make that just a little bit darker. Remember, this is a very strong color. All right, so we've blended some of the color on there. I might have to get a little more red on here. I'm using Poppy Parade. Just going to pick up some of that that's on my lid. That's very strong. All right, and then we're going to take some stamps, and we're going to do oh, here they are. I'm like, where are they? I'm going to be thinking I'm going to be using these, just because some of them I want silhouette look, some of them I want to be able to color in. So on this, let's take a silhouette look. We're going to be using this flower. Let me grab block and my memento pad. Alright, that's, I think we want a little bit bigger. I think we want it even bigger than that. I usually don't like going too much larger than what the stamp is, but we're going to use this one here, and I'm going to do this as a silhouette. So I'm going to just go ahead, ink this up so it looks pretty good. You could put this in your Stampin' Positioner, but for the sake of this video, since we're just instructing, I'm going to just go ahead and rely on just stamping it once on the block. And I'm going to leave it on for just a second because we want all that black ink to transfer. And then we'll carefully peel this off. Now I'm hoping that I got enough of the thickness off this doesn't rip my cardstock. I'm still going to carefully peel it on a diagonal. I want to try to save this for the next card, so I'm going very slowly around the edge because I don't want to rip that circle. Especially on this edge here. There we go. Now the first time it's on your paper will be the stickiest. After this it'll be a lot more manageable. Alright, let's just put that here for now. So there you have your spotlight. You can do, if you wanted to, you could have done a background before this, but that's just a spotlight in its simplest form. I'm just going to come around here with my brush just to add a little color. If I wanted to, I could trim this down some and put this as a layer on a card. But there's Spotlight at its most basic form. Okay, so let's go ahead now and let's take that circle that we didn't use. I put this over here on my work desk. It's so much nicer to have my desk right here where I can see my monitor, and I can also just set things down on my work desk. But got to be careful because I'm getting used to the shadows coming from my windows, my natural light. All right, so here I'm actually going to take this. Again, going to get some of that tackiness off. And here, let's do like that sunset look. So I'm going to do some yellow up here. I think I'm going to do it a little bit darker though. Yeah, can you see I contaminated my yellow pad? See how that, I didn't cover it up the other day when I was doing embossing. So we're just going to do that yellow background here first. I'm going to do that red background on the bottom. And then we're going to do that orange in the middle. Now that orange is already pretty much dried out. I can see that there is some residual, so we'll be okay. Alright, so now we have that background. Oops, red down here. Yellow here, and the orange here. And you see I'm going into those two colors with the orange. just to help kind of blend it a little bit. All right, let's go ahead and take this off. I have to bend it a little. There we go. Again, I'm kind of pulling off in an angled. So now you have this. And if you want to do that same flower, I'm going to take this typing paper that I just put a little bit on. You could use your masking paper again. On this one, let's do one of these leaves. Now on this, I think I actually want to do, I think, green. Get a bigger block here for this. I think I actually want to do green in there. Let me go grab that. Let's do garden green. All right. I'm trying to remember. Is garden green one that I needed to ink up? Looks like it. I'm just going to get it nice and covered. Again, we're going to go down and leave it on for just a second. Oh, got a little bit extra on there. But there you have your spotlight where the image is inside of that white circle. So that's kind of like a reverse spotlight. This is a spotlight. That's a reverse spotlight. Now let's show you when you're going to be using light colored cardstock. All right, let me put these over here for now. So on this one, and let me get this wiped up here. All right, hang on. Let me kind of cover this up so I don't get alcohol on this. There we go. All right. Put this back over here. Okay, so on this one, we're going to stamp in the same color or a light color that kind of just fades into this background. So let me go ahead. I am going to be using the Extraordinary Flora. Now, we know that this Extraordinary Flora has the matching washi tape. So if you wanted to, you almost could cut out a circle of the washi tape. And maybe we'll try that and show you how you can use that as a spotlight. All right, so we're going to have this over here. For this, I think I want to use my... And where did I put it? I'm going to use my positioner, my stamped positioner. Grab that from under my desk. And let me grab a light color for that. Right. So here's my Stampin' Positioner. So let's go ahead. I'm going to put that, should we put it right in the middle? Yeah, let's put it in the, no, let's do it off to the side. Let's get some magnets down on there so it'll hold on to that cardstock. Let's pick it up. Oh, I still had my plastic on there. Yeah, that's not smart. Let me go ahead and take it off of that. Let's try that again. So let's go there. There we go, much better. Turn this upside down so I'm inking. You know what? This is the wrong color. Let me get Pool Party. So it's either Pool Party or Balmy Blue. It definitely wasn't Coastal Cabana. Looking at it now, it might be Balmy Blue. But the Pool Party will do okay. So what we're doing is we just want to get a hint of that on here. So there, I think I want to do one more inking. All right, so there we have that little background on there. I'm going to leave this on here because now I'm going to take a piece of cardstock. Let me see. You know what, I'll just use one of these that we cut. I'm going to punch out that circle. I'm running out of places to set things. So we're going to use this little circle here. Let's grab this back. We're going to take this off for now. We're going to bring this back. And we're going to put the circle right about there. Just want to get that. We're going to go a little off. How about that? All right. We're going to put it right there. I'm hoping that tape holds it. We're going to ink it up with my Memento. We're going to do one and done. So we're going to hope that I think I'm going to move it up just a little bit. Trying to get that rose in there, but trying to get the other flower also in there. There you go. We'll go here. Hopefully my ink didn't dry out too much. Oh, that didn't do good at all, did it? You know what? Let me take a different stamp pad that is a little more inked. Why is that? Oh, that magnet's in the way. Oh, no wonder. Here, let's try this again. That magnet was stopping it from making contact with the paper. All right, there we go. Much better. You can see the stamp on that magnet. That's why it wasn't doing good. All right, so let me put this over here. Let's bring this back. You're going to put this over the way it's supposed to be so it lines up. And you would color this. Let me just grab a couple markers really quick. I don't even know if these are the lights or the darks, but you would go ahead and color this really quick. Again, I'm not doing this to create the card right now, just to show you the technique. I really don't color hardly at all anymore with the, I should have let this dry a little bit longer. With the brush end, I pretty much go on the bullet end on all of these. And yes, some of these will be the new in colors that are coming in. You go ahead and grab a green. And just so you know, pretty much all my greens are dried out. I have to replace them all because I use them the most. Especially on the brush end, because I do a lot of background techniques and flicking with them. That does kind of, it doesn't ruin your tips, but it will work them out, that's for sure. Okay, so here we've colored this very quickly, and then what you would do is you would line this up and tape it down, and there's another spotlight technique. Let me go ahead and use this really quick. Let's get that so it's on straight there, there, and there. So there's another spotlight technique. All right, what was my last one? I thought I had one more. Let's see, so this is my little list here. Don't you like this? Sorry, doctor's information on there too. So here we colored in the spotlight circle. So here, oh no, that's the color circle, then stamp. Here's the color, and then you stamp in the spotlight circle. Here's light cardstock, and then do your little spotlight there. I don't know what I meant by light color than dark. Oh, if you're on white cardstock, you could do a light stamping of your background, and let's say, I'll show you. This one's not as I don't know. It's not one I use a lot, but we'll show you what I meant. So And here again, you would have to use your Stampin' Positioner. So let's take that out. No, you don't. Okay, I think I have another white piece here somewhere. I don't think I did them all, did I? I did. Ah. All right, let me grab, I'll just do a base. How about that? So on this one, you would get an overall stamp like this. Let's grab our Stampin' Positioner back. Let's get this one off. You should see my mess over here. Well, you probably can see some of it. All right, so let's go ahead. Oh, I have ink on my fingers. Hang on. All right, let's do this one. So this one, we're going to, the stamp covers the entirety of this. So we're not going to put down the markers at all. Let's get that violet flare out. Sorry, that was pretty noisy. That was right by the microphone. Let's get this down here. So this is in the corner where it's supposed to be. Let's go ahead and pick it up. Your cardstock's going to move because we don't have anything down there. I do have this tape here, but it's pretty used up. Let's see if I fold it over, if that helps. Now that might affect how it stamps too. We'll have to see that. All right, so here's this. Let's do, we said light color than dark color. So let's do Poppy Parade. And let me go grab Bubble Bath. All right, so here's Bubble Bath. We're gonna do Bubble Bath first as the overall background. Go ahead and push down on that. All right, so you have that light background, right? Now we're going to come in with our mask. Oh, it did rip there when I had it. So we're going to line this up. Doesn't really matter about the wrinkles here. You just want to make sure we have a good tight there, good tight suction. We're going to go ahead. Oh my goodness. We're going to go ahead and ink up that area there. Oops. I forgot it's opposite. All right. Go here. I'm rubbing all around where that circle is. Let's do a second one, just to make sure it's a little dark. Just remember, you're going to have that little bit of that ghosting look too. All right. Oh man, this is a real mess. All right, so let's go ahead. Put this all over here. You're going to see a little bit of it. So now we're going to go ahead and peel this off again. All right, you're going over there. And there you can see there's that spotlight technique for like an overall background. So you have that light bubble bath in the back, you have that Poppy Parade over the top. All right, so let's show you everything we worked on today. So here's the light and dark colored. Here's the spotlight where you're using, did I do that upside down? No. Where you're coloring in the circle. Here's where you mask that circle. And then here's where so here you mask so the circle was showing through. Here we put the circle down, so when we blended the background, it didn't put any color underneath that circle mask. All right, there you are. There is your spotlight technique in 4 different ways. If you don't mind, give me that thumbs up. I'd really appreciate it. If you think someone would like this technique series or any of my other videos that I do, go ahead and have them subscribe to my channel. I am 25 away from 500. Now I know people have thousands of followers and that, but my goal is 500 and I'm so close to it. So if you don't mind, tell your friends about my channel, especially if they like simple stamping but fun techniques, and have them go ahead and subscribe. I would really appreciate it. Thanks all for watching. Have a great week. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.